Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the What's Happening podcast. I'm Spencer, joined by Shelby. I'm the host. I'm the producer. Shelby does all the other bitch work. And this week, I'm going to order a PlayStation 5 during the podcast.
Manifesting.
Do I have to sing the intro song?
No, you don't sing the intro song.
I can't do it. We're journeying all through time and space to discover what's happening to the human race. We don't really care what's happened in the past. Welcome to the What's Happening podcast.
All right. Hello everyone. If you watch the video portion, if you intake this podcast at all, things might be different for the next few weeks.
Don't laugh into the mic. Laugh away from it. You have a very loud laugh. Can you imagine if I laughed into the mic?
It would literally blow out
people's ears.
Yeah. Because when I hear you laugh in the bedroom while you're recording, I can hear all the way from the kitchen.
I don't hardly laugh.
Anyway.
If it really tickles me.
Look how low that is.
Is that me?
That's both of us.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. That's very low compared to normal. Anyway.
Worst comes worst, you just bump it a little.
Yeah. So, audio might sound a bit weird. We are changing things over the next few weeks. Video is going to look probably different most weeks until we figure something out. And at that point, we'll probably still change it again. But
yeah, Shelby decided in the midst of trying, that was on PlayStation 5 release day.
Yeah.
You were like, well, we're also just going to move around the whole living room.
so
we changed things up. The living room is a lot better. Logistically, it just works. But yeah, things are moved around. So we're still trying to figure out how setups and stuff are going to work. Yeah.
We have plans, but things might be weird for a few weeks. Anyway, Spencer, how are you?
I'm good. I'm nervous.
Yeah?
I really want to get a PS5. It's not really that important, obviously.
But you want one.
But I want one.
Yeah.
You know? And I haven't gotten one yet.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people who have it.
And
it's giving me FOMO. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know anything gaming related or pay attention to that, PS5 came out a week ago as of tomorrow. Right?
No, a week ago as of Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Regardless, we're coming up on this.
But we're recording
week.
This on Tuesday.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So by the time you hear this, 2 days ago, it was out a week.
Anyway.
But
it's been out.
On Thursday, it releases internationally. Then it was only
in the U.S. for
U.S. and probably Japan, I would assume.
U.S. not even Canada.
Yeah, I guess North America.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like normally North America is all one
bundle. But yeah.
Regardless.
Real quick, discussing video games. I know that I wrote an amazing intro song for our podcast.
Yeah.
I do just want to say that I then challenged Mike for our podcast, Good Game, Bad Game. I challenged him to make a better
intro
song. And I'm ashamed. I wrote the best podcast theme song ever. And
it only lasted for a day.
I held that record for a day, yeah. Instantly was beaten. I couldn't believe it. I probably held it for maybe I held it from Saturday to Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
And he instantly just made an incredible...
It was really great, yeah. I am excited, though, for us to properly record ours.
Yes.
But that'll come also in time.
But yes.
Every week we might get a little bit better at what we have.
Yeah. So my entire life right now has just been completely engrossed with trying to get a PlayStation. And as we're recording this...
You're trying to get a PlayStation.
A queue went up on PlayStation.com and I'm sitting in it. And currently it's bouncing all over the place. I'll give updates as it's going. The queue started around 2. It's now 2:49 when we're recording this.
I'm glad that they're getting updates, and it's they might get to hear the whole what happens throughout this podcast.
They'll hear what's happening. And I jumped from over an hour wait. It then jumped down to 56 minutes. It then went back up to over an hour. Then it dropped to 58. Then back up over an hour. Then it went to 47. Then it dropped to 37.
God, okay.
What?
This is all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, and then it jumped back up into the 40s. I think it might have gone into the 30s, back to the 40s. I'm now seeing. I just got a tweet notification that the PS5 seems to be sold out now, so that makes me a sad boy. But my weight currently is sitting at 32 minutes, so we'll see when I get through.
This has been our life.
Yeah.
Which leads us into exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, boy.
Which is primarily in general holiday gifting. But we can talk about Black Friday. We can talk about whatever the hell we feel like talking about. I always just find this very fascinating thing. If anyone has been listening to our podcast at all or knows us personally, you probably have already guessed we're not huge holiday people. Like, I don't know. It's not like we're not people who like, I don't know. We're just not huge, like, overdue holidays or anything like that.
Right.
Without going, like, too deep into what we care and don't care about. But, so, the holidays are an interesting time, especially when I say holidays. I'm primarily talking about Christmas, because it comes to gifting and whatnot. And both being people who, you know, grew up in families who, like, do Christmas and all that jazz. And I mean, I've like worked in retail over Black Friday. Like, it's an interesting time of year. That's interesting for a lot of different reasons. And obviously, literally just how things have been going with the PS5 is like a huge holiday time. Everyone racing around trying to get the thing that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously this year the holidays are going to be extra weird because of COVID and like either restrictions or production issues or et cetera, et cetera. The postal service is like projected to like literally deteriorate for our eyes this winter, but who knows? I have a little bit of faith, but a lot of people are obviously very anxious about it because it got pretty bad over the summer. But holidays. We obviously don't have to dive in too deep about the fact that we don't really like care. Like it's definitely like it's easy to say. Obviously when I was a kid, it was exciting, like getting gifts and like Santa's coming and like obviously like I can't say I never felt that. I absolutely felt that. But it's like now being older and like removed a little bit.
I think, yeah, no, I agree. I think probably in high school
I started
to get that
why?
feeling of like because you lose the whole like Santa aspect
It's not,
and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so like what really makes it special? Now if you actually celebrate it, you know, like for your religious reasons and stuff like that, great. But like anymore, Christmas is such like a
consumer
holiday. And like it's so annoying to like constantly be like talking about that, but it's like so true. And
absolutely.
Like but yeah, I think like in high school it was just like, why do I need to wait until like something will come out? Like for me it was always video games, so like something would come out in like June. And it's like, oh, I could ask for that for Christmas, but I literally have to wait 6 months to get it. Yeah. Like, how fucking annoying is that? It's just so stupid. It's just... And anymore, you were saying that, like, we basically have the mindset of, like, you know, why does it matter? Like, if we want something, why can't we just go and get it? And then we do. So...
I mean, that's from, like, an instance of, like, we literally just buy things for ourselves. Obviously, we don't have any dependents or anyone we have to, like, buy things for. So, like, I absolutely see the pros and cons to something like Black Friday holiday because, like, one, on a business side, especially small businesses, this is when, like, the height of their income comes in, which is, like, amazing. Like, sometimes Black Friday can completely, like, sustain a business because so much comes in during this time of year. Also, from a consumer standpoint, like, if you're a person who, like, legitimately, like, want something, hell, even like need something, like this is the time of year to get it for the cheapest. But most likely.
But it's not. It's just we've been conditioned to believe.
Well, I mean, now anymore there's sales more.
There's sales all the time, and like that's the other thing that like I'm like, why wait until like think about it. I'm just
saying from a budget standpoint, like you can kind of like
you can
out.
Like just plan to just because you know without a doubt that week there will be. But, like, you know, if you're just smarter with your money and just, like, you know, are sure to, like, you know, to put aside the money when you know there's something that you want kind of thing. If you can kind of, like, teach yourself to do that, you know, like, come June, July, when there's some random summer sale.
Right.
You know, like, because sometimes you can find a TV for cheaper than the guaranteed sale that's going to happen in November.
No, definitely.
And like, again, why wait? I just jumped down to 19 minutes. They're definitely sold out.
But yeah, it's an interesting time of year. It tends to be like a stressful time of year, which is like annoying in itself because it's like, it should just be the holidays. Like, it's like almost annoying to say it, but it's like, it really should just be about like spending time with like loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
It really shouldn't be about anything else besides if you, again, do it for religious reasons or whatever. But like, if you're just gathering because it's become the popular thing to do, like, it should be about like the gathering, which, you know, it can be, sometimes gets a little like taken too far in some areas, but something I thought would be really fun, really fun, and for some reason gets me just like confused and like just amped. Like, there's always shopping trends, like what's popular that year, and more, and especially I'm sure quarantine only like amped this up. There's always a kitchen gadget that's like a trend, and maybe it's because we're getting older. I'm now either knowing people who get them, or I'm paying more attention to it, or I don't know. Obviously, this could have been happening my whole life and I just didn't know it.
Didn't you kind of fall victim to this by getting your own iced coffee thing?
I guess. I don't know. I just wanted a nice coffee thing.
Yeah.
How else do I make iced coffee?
I don't know.
I do see what you're saying.
Is that
like,
kind of what you mean? Like, just like buying the thing that's the thing to buy at the time and thing?
Kind of, yeah. Like,
I mean, I don't think iced coffee all of a sudden had this huge revelation.
But
like,
I know, I see what you're
but...
saying. I think there's levels of like, I legitimately want this and I think I'll use it. And there's levels of every person's using this and they rave about it because they just got it. So they're still amped about it. And so I'm going to go get one. And like, every place is advertising them this year at like good prices and whatnot. In 2 or 3 years ago, I heard about the like air fryer hype. I feel like it all started with the air fryer for me. Like 2 or 3 years ago, the air fryer was like huge and like everyone was advertising it. I know like my mom like really wanted one, my aunt really wanted, like everyone got air fryers that year. And I was kind of like, whatever, I don't really care. It's this like huge thing basically. And it feels like that air fryer hasn't really died down. I mean, the past 2 years, I still hear people like, I mean, literally last year, we were driving around to stores with our friends trying to find an air fryer. Or was that 2 years ago?
No, it was last year. It was before we moved up here, right?
Yeah, we were literally driving around trying to find the best deal on an air fryer for our friends. And like...
Air fryer, yeah, and air fryers, you're right, they're still like a thing because like there's the toaster ovens that have the air fryer ability like built in. Like that's the new hotness.
It makes me laugh though because I only know of one person who uses it. Like our friends who we went driving around with, they're the only people I know who use it still.
I think my parents have a toaster oven that has the air fryer in it, and I think they use it.
Well, yeah, they do use the toaster oven, like...
Yeah, they use the toaster oven, like, religiously.
Yeah. Which, like, again...
Great invention, the toaster oven.
If people use it, I'm happy.
Shall we talk about the toaster oven for about 15 minutes?
We can talk about the toaster oven.
I've been
a toaster oven convert. Like, I thought they were stupid.
I know.
But that's also because growing up, our oven had the toaster oven compartment in it. So we never had a separate thing. Shut up.
No, fine.
So we never had a separate thing, so I always thought it was stupid.
I hope you can recognize your privilege.
I thought all ovens had a toaster oven section.
All ovens matter.
I thought all ovens had a toaster oven section. I didn't realize it was
What an ignorant thing to think.
I'm sorry, as a high schooler, I didn't know ovens.
Yeah, but we just
never had
toasters are a thing, right?
Yeah, but our oven did toast. You threw it in the oven.
But toasters were a thing.
Yeah.
So
I never knew toaster ovens were a separate thing.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay.
No, it wasn't like I was like, toaster ovens are stupid. I literally didn't know they were a separate machine until like coming over to your house. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this just a fancy ass toaster? Like, I thought you just had this giant toaster.
And then you looked at the oven and you opened it and you were like, what the fuck is this? Where's the compartment?
I was so confused.
Okay, I gotcha, yeah.
I just didn't even know it existed.
I'm starting to kind of pick up what you're putting down. You're still ignorant and
I just didn't
recognize your privilege.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
Bitch. Like, not all of us can have, like, break down your fridge. How many, does your fridge have
A freezer?
a wine cooler built into it.
No. Is yours?
No. You've seen my fridge.
I know, I'm joking.
all of our, it's really funny, like all of our appliances at my house, to my knowledge at least, I'm down to 2 minutes, I'm about to be in.
Oh.
To my knowledge, everything at my house is very much like, it was very up to date at the time, but it was right at
everything
the wrong
shifted.
point. Like we had a huge tube television. Like we had a 50, it must have been a 50-inch easily.
Wow.
And it was the big tube one.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't 50. But that thing was big and it was fucking heavy because it was a box television. So like we had one of those. And then like probably within 2 years is when like flat screen TVs took off. And like we have like, I mean, I guess most fridges at that point probably just had like the built-in water or whatever, right? So we had something like that, but then like right after that, like your new fridge has the like second door.
Yeah, which was crazy.
Which is like mind-blowing.
And we were like kind of late to getting that.
Yours is pretty cool because yours is like a double door fridge,
Yeah.
and then the freezer's underneath.
Yeah.
It's like a chest almost. Whereas mine is like it's
the split.
It's the split.
Yeah.
Like it has both built in.
But it's done like the old
right?
way.
But it's the
like,
old way
it's
where
vertical.
it's like, yeah, and the freezer section is like this big while the fridge is this big.
Yeah.
And it's just so annoying. And it's just so funny that like that's so much of like my house, I feel like. It's like all those things that like just
You
like
were right before the change.
Yeah.
I definitely get that.
Yeah.
I mean, we only get, I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like we had really bad luck in my house, but it's like appliances only get replaced once they like break.
Yeah, your house, this was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
Everything
our fridge just died. Our
your fridge,
stove
your
broke.
stove, yeah.
The microwave literally stopped working. The
Yep.
whole thing just, literally in like a year, everything broke. So yeah, for the past like 2 or 3 years, my parents, out of stock. I'm sorry. So for the past, why are you making that face? I said out of stock.
Oh my god.
So yeah, for the past 2 or 3 years, my parents have had a pretty updated kitchen. Our sink is like screaming. But regardless, appliances are a funny thing, and I definitely think quarantine probably boosted some of the interest because more people are at home, more people like got into cooking, and these appliances, their whole point is making it easier or simplifying something. So it's like, so I saw like the bread maker gain a little bit of interest in the beginning of quarantine. So everyone was making bread. I saw a milk frother gain, like, they must have pushed a ton of money into ads for some brand's milk frother, and it was like the funniest thing in the world to me. I don't know why. I never would have gotten it because I wouldn't have used it for anything, but it was just like so random, the things that I saw pushed online. And speaking of iced coffee, I can't remember if it was like, what's the brand? Mr. Coffee or... Yeah.
That's what our coffee maker is, yeah.
Yeah, I believe they made a whole iced coffee machine that looks just like a coffee machine, but it's just for iced coffee. And I feel like the way they pushed
Would that
it...
be cold brew?
Essentially, I think.
Well, it's 2 different things.
Then I don't know. But it's called an iced coffee maker or something, or iced coffee machine. The way they pushed it, I think that they thought it was gonna, like, blow up. Like, I really feel like they thought that. Because it was, like, people are at home, people want to make their own iced coffees, like, people, I'm sure, like, make your own coffee recipes were, like, gaining interest online. And I feel like they thought it was going to be the next big thing. And it could still happen, but I now see them, like, online on sale. Like, they're, like, already on sale online for, like, $20.
Oh, jeez.
I think they were only, like, $30 to begin with because it's a pretty simple machine.
Oh. What's happening?
I don't know. Pod. But... yeah, it's a funny thing. If you, and I know you're going to, like, hate this question, if you had to say, oh, I already know what you're going to say. What would you say the best gift of 2020 would be?
A PS5.
Yeah, New Year's.
The best gift of 2020. I honestly wouldn't know.
Whether it be, like, trends, whether it just be because 2020's been 2020.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I'm pretty detached from it at this point.
I think, like, a lifetime supply of Xanax.
No, lifetime supply of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Just in case.
No, in all seriousness, I really don't know because I don't know what's hot, and I only know what like you and I need.
Right, obviously.
And when we need those things, like we just talked about, we get it.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part.
I guess like not that I'm turning this into like a whole what to get people, but like, you know, if work from home is gonna stay a thing, now would be the time of year to like treat yourself for a nicer desk chair if you didn't really have one.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna say, or like some sort of like neck or back cushion on the chair.
Or like a monitor if you've just been working on the laptop.
A new monitor would be good.
That's like definitely what comes to mind for me.
Just a desk in general.
Get yourself a desk.
You need it. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean, honestly, like, not joking, like PS5 or the Xbox would obviously be great because people need something to do. Realistically, if you don't care about video games too much, getting last gen.
Right.
And just getting
like
the
nice
Pro
refurbished one.
If you just get the Pro version of the PS4, or if you get the Xbox One X, instead of getting the next gen console, those will still be supported for 2-3 years probably. So like those would be honestly good options just for like entertainment value. But like other than that, like I really don't know. I'm out of touch with like what's like trending and like. Again, just
I think that, and I also think like 2020 has been such a year where like we're stuck inside, and so it's like, what do you need at this point? Like I feel like 2020, if anything, there have been like, it's interesting because I've seen some reports say online shopping is up, but it's almost like people are kind of starting to project that individual interest in consumerism is low, whether that's for financial reasons because 2020 has been 2020, whether it's just because you're stuck at home, like you see your stuff every day and you either are just like you're like what am I doing, why would I need to buy something, I'm not doing anything, or like I literally have everything I need, like I'm here all the time and I know exactly what's here. And it's like, if you needed something you probably noticed it 5 months ago when you were 2 months into quarantine and you bought it because you were like, this is going to be a long time of me being here. So I think it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because there literally have been numbers that online shopping went up, but like, is that just because there was a huge curve at the beginning of quarantine, or has that been the whole experience? I have no idea.
I'm sure it's stayed relatively high because it's kind of like what you said, like, you know, when you needed something, you were just like, I'll just order it because I'm at home. You can't
really go out,
you know,
and get it.
So, you know, people constantly have new needs or wants.
Yeah.
And it honestly was one of those things too where, like, you know, everything got kind of put into perspective for people, I think, you know, because of being stuck at home.
Yeah.
And, you know, just, I'm stuck here, order it.
That's true. I don't know. I almost think that, like, holiday spending will be lower than normal just because of what this year's been, but also at the same time I'm like, absolutely not, because
I still what's stuck with me is what Mike said about how like the family that has just had a shit year,
they're trying to have like the perfect
and they're
Christmas
trying to make
now.
sure the Christmas isn't fucked up. And it's really sad that somebody has to have that mindset. So stop with holidays, they're pointless. Just get them out of your life. Which actually, real quick, going back to that, it's really funny that like we're like that, and for how long have we been dating? 4 years? No. 5?
I think. Yeah, because it was all of college, and then this was a year. 5. Yeah.
For all 5 of those years, I have said that holidays were pointless. And I got you to agree with me.
No, I agree.
And then you still bought me things.
Yeah.
And it was like the first year we did it because it was like, and then the second year I think we still did it. But then the third year I was like, we're not doing this. Why are we doing this? And definitely the fourth year. It was definitely the fourth year for sure. Last year. And you fucking got me stuff still.
Listen, okay.
You're a prick.
Okay.
You're a prick. If I'm telling you don't get me anything, don't get me anything.
Okay. Listen. I'm like,
Which now I know this year especially, you won't get me anything.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Right. Because, like, we're living together.
Really?
Why would you get me something? Like...
I know I can be pretty bad with that.
Oh, you're the woke.
And it's not really even, like, holiday related. I just really enjoy getting people things. Like, a lot. Like, I feel like I always have...
What brings me more joy is if you get me nothing.
I always have, like, ideas in my head, and I literally have a list on my phone that's, like, a constant running list of, like, every person that I would possibly get a gift for and my ideas for them, and it gets updated throughout the year. But my approach to gifting this year, I literally don't think I'm getting you anything.
No, you're not. Stop saying thing. You're not getting me anything.
I'm not getting you anything.
You can, like, when I have my PlayStation up, and I'm like, should I buy this game? You can go, yes, Merry Christmas. And then I'll go, okay, good idea.
Okay.
That can be it.
But my approach to gifting this year is hopefully it is either like recycled in some way, homemade in some way, or small business.
Yeah, I don't want your trash. So
you don't want my trash? I have a whole... I was making this art for you.
Give me anything. I don't want your fucking trash.
But yeah.
I live in it.
That's fair. But yeah, I think it's just interesting.
What's wild is that I am the host.
You are?
And the producer.
You are?
But you're really bringing the...
Well, I pretty much wrote all the... I wrote all the ideas this week.
You did. You didn't run anything by me either. Coffee's done.
I have it on our shared note. You can look at it whenever. It's been sitting
here all week. I didn't know you were doing it.
The only thing I added was this today.
Mm-hmm.
That's all been sitting there.
Okay.
Anyway...
Take it away, host.
Let's talk about more things that we already didn't care about, and then someone wrote about it, and we were going to talk about we don't care about it, but other people do. I think that's, like, the thing to take away is, like, we can stay here and we can, like, shit on certain things or whatever, because I know we're going to shit on this in 30 seconds. Like, I know we're going to. I see what it's called.
Oh, my God.
I know we're going to shit on this, and it's not from a stance of that I'm telling people not to do it. If there's one thing we haven't gone across in all this, we literally don't care what other people do with their lives. Like, we don't care. This is obviously just completely our opinions, and we just like to talk about random things. And I feel like we like to take the stance of, like, trends, like, just thinking about, like, trends and what's popular and, like, whatever. So I follow Christine from Simply Nailogical on Snapchat, and her partner or boyfriend Ben have a podcast together that I haven't gotten a chance to listen to yet, but it's on my, like, list. But I follow her on Snapchat, the only person I follow on Snapchat. And they did a little blip in their podcast on the New York Times article, "Is This the End of the Manicure?" This was written on November 5th, I believe it said. Yeah. I have no idea what their take was on this. They obviously... Christine, like, makes money from nail-related things, so I'm sure their take was much more interesting in the nail world. This is just interesting from, like, trends, again. Probably that more stance of it. So, obviously, go check out theirs if you're more interested in their viewpoint of it. But I just saw they talked about this, so I had to Google it, because I'm just always interested in, like, articles are always being posted, like, millennials are ruining this industry, COVID's ruining this industry, this is ruining this industry. Alright, we have a camera malfunction. Anyway, so, yeah, always interested in, like, oh, this thing is affecting this industry, whatever, in whatever capacity that might be. I feel like most of the time, it's not even actually true. There might have just been a slight change in sales. Everything's falling apart. Which... from a company standpoint, either means they need to, like, probably change what they're doing or update or...
No, it's easier to blame...
Or it's just a random dip in...
It's easier to blame customer or some other factor, you know, rather than take the blame yourself.
That is so dumb, because literally if it's, like...
No, it's true.
If it's a product or a service, that is, like, on them to be needed by people. So I don't understand why it's ever written that, like, consumers are hurting this industry. No, the industry isn't worth it for people.
My favorite is millennials are ruining the napkin industry.
Yeah. Because who the hell buys napkins?
Because we're fucking smart enough to go, like, either one, we're fucking pigs and we eat and then we just wash up afterwards, or we fucking use a paper towel because we already have those and why would we need
2 products do the same thing?
Yeah, and now paper towels like used to come in like a big sheet, and now they're like a half sheet, right? So you like don't use as much.
Because paper towels caught on that people wanted to use less or be able to use them for more things.
Right.
And so they were like, let's update.
Right. And so like you can take a paper towel and fold it in half. And that is half of what a napkin takes up in paper product easily. And you probably don't even use that whole half of a paper towel.
No.
Like, so that's what I mean. Like, typically I like eat like a fucking animal. And then I wash my hands, and I'll like wipe my face with like water and stuff, and then I'll just dry, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
But yeah, you're right. Like it's always just so much easier just to fucking blame
the consumer.
Yeah.
Which makes literally no sense because it's not on the consumer to keep a company alive.
And this is my whole like big gripe with like climate change and everything. When like some fucking what?
Okay.
Well, like when fucking who just did it? Shell or Exxon, or they fucking tweeted and they like were like, "What are you going to do to be better?" And it's like, "Yo, look in the fucking mirror. You're doing like 10,000 times more than what one fucking person's doing. You assholes."
Oh yeah, they're like
how dare you? How fucking shitty is that to put up a world clock saying when our doomsday is because of climate change, when you're putting that in the face of human beings on a basic level instead of putting it in the face of the fucking companies who are causing it.
Absolutely.
That's such horseshit. And don't get me wrong, you and I had a long conversation about it. People can absolutely do more. I'm off on a tangent. I'm ranting now, okay? Like people can absolutely do more, and I think people should be doing whatever they can. But like the sad fact and sad reality of it is you switching from using plastic straws to a reusable straw, and you switching from using like a plastic container, cup, drinking vessel to a reusable one isn't going to change anything.
It's a very small.
And you can say that like, well, if everybody does it, but it's so ignorant to think that everybody would.
It really is these companies.
It's on the companies, the ones who are putting the products. If they're bottling water in plastic and they're giving it to the masses, low-income people are going to buy bottled water because that's what they have to do.
Yeah, places that don't have access to clean drinking water.
It's just that, like...
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
It's absolutely a system issue. It's not an individual issue. And that's what like so many, without going down like a huge rabbit hole, so many environmental practices were created to be used by companies. But all of a sudden marketing one day was just like, if people started doing this, then like people feel better about it. And like essentially we'll start to ignore the companies because you think like, oh, I as an individual can control at least my actions, which is true. But then it's like, if you think you're doing what you can, you're doing what you can. Like, that's all you can do. But it's like, there needs to be action done at like a higher level to actually like stop what we've been doing and make a change and like go in a better direction. Absolutely. But anyway, the article, not anything about what we've been ranting about. New York Times wrote, "Is this the end of the manicure?" Dun, dun, dun. So, again, I don't give a shit what anyone does with their life. I should absolutely preface this. I've only gotten my nails done professionally one time in my whole life, and I didn't love it. Yeah?
I'm all for people, like, treating themselves. Like, I get that, like, typically a manicure, right, is, like, saying that, like, is, like, a part of, like, a spa day, right?
It can be.
It's, like, a relaxing thing,
absolutely.
And it's, like, you're treating yourself, very much so. It's not a necessary thing for your nails, is it?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a health thing. Like,
some
you know
people,
how like
it's definitely not a health thing. It can just be seen as like kind of a maintenance or just
I'm
like
sure it's
it feels
good for your
nice.
mental health too.
It just
like,
feels
you know,
nice, yeah.
Like with stress and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
All for that. All for people doing that. What I'm not for, and I think the main reason why I have so much animosity towards manicures and pedicures is that this was the fucking thing that people were focused on when the lockdown happened.
Yeah.
When am I going to get my nails or hair done? Fuck off. There are so many more important things. Like,
absolutely.
And again, I know that's ignorant of me because I don't get manicures or pedicures and like they don't affect me in any way. But like, come the fuck on. I have hair, so that one I can say for a fact. Like, obviously I don't want to see like hairdressers go out of business or anything like that. I don't think everybody should just cut their hair. I think that's probably a bad idea. But I think more people hopefully realized that like your hair doesn't matter that much.
Oh, it absolutely doesn't.
Like your appearance doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Hopefully people are realizing that. Probably not.
Well, this article kind of argues there was definitely like the phases that the idea of the manicure went throughout quarantine, basically. And kind of like in the beginning, it was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like my nails, which in some cases that's from you just have that like schedule of getting your nails done. In other cases, it's like maybe you got something so specific done that's kind of really hard for an individual to remove. Like there are literally parts where you're like, oh my God, I'm on my own now, I have to get this off. Like, and it can be uncomfortable, possibly bad for your nails. It can be like, which then at that point I'm like, why are you doing it to your nails? But whatever, that's a whole other tangent that's like not important to go into. But there are levels of like things that probably are just easier to go get help with, which when you can't, I understand that argument. Whatever. But clearly there was the like rush in the beginning of what am I gonna do? People online were like, professionals were uploading content of how to do things yourself. People were constantly like buying kits to do things themselves. So like that was kind of the next phase. And then they kind of were talking to either one or two, I got confused on kind of like the names of everyone. I believe two people who own nail brands that are more like minimal nail brands. Like it's just like a glossy coat that like protects your nail instead of like all the things. And they were both essentially something like that. And both of these companies saw huge spikes in their sales like halfway through quarantine, because it was just like one day people went, well, wait, like my nails are looking healthier than they've ever been because I'm not putting anything on them. And wait, my nails are like getting stronger because I'm not putting anything on them. But like it'd be nice to like give them a little shine.
So I have the world's strongest nails.
You have the world's strongest nails.
I've never done anything to them.
It's just like,
that's not true.
You painted them once, now they're dead. No, but like there's just like, if you get your nails done all the time, like it can wear on your nails, obviously. But so it was kind of saying like a more minimal approach to nail care was growing. And so the argument is like, yes, some nail salons in certain areas have been allowed to reopen with like precautionary systems, but some are. And like obviously people are like still going back, but it's kind of like, will you see the popularity of it maintain what it was before quarantine as is, let's say, after, whenever it ends? I think yes. I think it'll go back. I don't think it's like something to stress out about.
If anything, I think writing an article like this like helps prevent it from actually ending.
Probably. Because it almost puts like,
it puts
it's like a
fear
guilt
in your
you.
head where you're like, well, wait, I don't want that to go away.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure I go and get my
nails done.
Yeah, in the middle of a fucking pandemic where cases are rising again. It's okay. It's just the flu. Fucking, oh my God.
But anyway, so a lot of people...
Dude, I'm so hot right now.
I know.
I'm so fucking heated.
But so obviously it kind of went back and forth that like some people are taking the stance of like, I'm done. Some people just want to start doing it at home. Some people whatever. And there are obviously a lot of different takes of like people who have been going to salons during with the, you know, everyone's wearing masks,
guidelines and everything.
Yeah. Oh my God, I couldn't think of that word. But so it's just guidelines? A lot of like, yeah, I couldn't think of the word guidelines. What? Anyway, but it's just kind of like bringing into question like, will people's perceptions change? Which again, in the long run, people will probably just go back to what they were doing because, like, let's just be realistic. But also, like, who knows? Maybe people will be like, oh, instead of going every 2 weeks, maybe I'll treat myself, like, a few times a year. Like, I don't know. Habits could change, but I don't think it's going to stay the same.
I love how this fucking article ended. We will wait, unpanicked, with nails unpainted, and see. And it makes me realize that somebody actually took the time to write about whether or not manicures are going away in the middle, again, of a pandemic, in the midst of a president who will refuse to admit that he lost an election, in the middle of just so many other fucking issues, social injustice, and like, I can't believe that this is like, what if this goes away?
I mean,
I get it. Like,
I don't blame them because, yeah.
But it sounds...
I almost look at it as a comedy piece, as bad as that is. It sounds
just like... It just sounds so, like...
unaware.
Yeah, it sounds so like tone deaf to be
I think
again like at the beginning of the pandemic when people are like, what am I gonna do about my nails? It's like that's the thing you're concerned about, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this too. It's like I get it, but also like
I mean, people are still going to keep writing about everything.
Write an
Obviously, I'm sure
article
this is like not on the front page of the New York Times.
It actually was.
Oh shit!
I just got my
copy. But obviously, my favorite part of every article is the comment section.
Oh yes. My favorite part of anything nowadays is the comment section because
people be crazy.
People are crazy. People are stupid.
Yes.
And the best part is because it's online, and unless they specify that they're being sarcastic with like a slash
you
S,
have like no idea.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
And so I'll read it both ways sometimes. Like I'll read it like this is parody, and then I'll read it and I'll go this person's serious, and I'm like, wow, either way, fucking insane that they did this.
Yeah, I have come to find the best comments are on Pinterest, because apparently that's a thing that you can put comments on there. I don't know why I just started going through them. It's terrible. People, like, just the things people comment on Pinterest, and I don't even know how often they go back to the original person, because those things get pinned everywhere. So I don't know what the system is. Maybe if it is your original thing, you do get notified, even if it's on like 20 pages down the road.
Right.
But it's a weird system to me, because what are the odds the original pinner looks at that and is like, oh, let me respond to these comments.
The original pinner.
So there I found the best comments, and mom blogs.
Mom blogs?
Mom blogs are the best comments, because it's either a bunch of moms going at it
and blogging
because they have the best opinion and they do things the right way and blah 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 blah, or it's a bunch of moms like hyping each other up. Both very entertaining to watch.
Go get 'em, Judy.
Yeah, it's just like, both are fantastic places.
The best for me is Twitter.
Oh, I believe that.
Like, Twitter it's a fucking cesspool at times of just terrible takes. But, like, when somebody has a really bad take, that's when you find the best comments.
Yeah.
Like, you will find something like that's super controversial. Well, you'll find something that shouldn't be controversial.
But it is, apparently.
But somebody decides to make it controversial.
Yeah.
And so it'll be like, I don't know if we want to talk about it or not, but, like, recently there's been a big movement with, like, the next-gen consoles with, like, people of color not getting recognition from these gaming companies.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this can be something that people will
argue
with, but they will. And it's like the initial post, okay. Regular comments, don't care. But then you'll get the one where it's like, fuck people of color, they don't deserve shit. And I'm like, let's read the comments on this. And then it's just everybody comes to attack. And it's just like, the funniest things, like, people will like just take that person's profile picture and that'll just be their response. And that always gets me, because it's like always the person in a truck with their sunglasses on, and then somebody will like post their bio and it's like Christian, father, John 3:16, which ironically is when God calls all of us women, but regardless, whatever, you know, like, it's just like, it's so funny. And like, when people come to the defense, that's always like, those are the best comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the mom blogs.
Oh my god.
I might have to dip in.
Sometimes I just get stuck in a rabbit hole of reading them, and they make me laugh a lot. I've also started to like definitely go into more mom YouTubers.
Can we make a fake account?
No.
Why?
What are we doing?
And just like just can
be
we
a
start
mom?
shit?
Can we just be a mom?
Can we start shit?
No.
Come on.
I don't want to start shit.
It'd be funny.
I don't like
They just go in and just like put like the most ridiculous thing. It's like some like recipe, right?
Yeah.
And then like we just say, well, like we're like, no, we substituted this.
Okay.
And then
not bad.
Yeah, and then we go and it was much better.
Oh no.
And something like that. And it just make it something like ridiculous. Like the thing is like use canned chicken. And we're like, we decided to use chocolate instead and it was much better. Like something that like makes no sense, and just see how it breaks people.
Oh my god, people would literally be like, what? Like, I literally saw someone, it like broke my heart. I was on Pinterest and I don't even remember. Oh, it was the pumpkin cookies. People like ripped into that person. Like, this person made this recipe and like, I don't know. I feel like it's like pretty well, I'm not big into the recipe world, but it's like, I feel like you can take the liberty of being like, oh, this is kind of getting weird. Let me alter it so it doesn't get weird. You don't go on Pinterest and be like, this was the worst recipe I've ever worked with. And I'm like a professional. Like, I basically do this all the time. So, like, I know this is bad. And I'm just like, get out. Like, just leave. Like, no one wants you here. Like, some people were ripping into that. But comments on the manicure post. Amazon's bad.
Amazon is so funny.
It is.
Does this come with a 16-foot cord or an 18-foot cord?
I don't know.
I didn't buy it. What?
I just want to go on Amazon and put that. I want to answer that to everything.
Are you fucking insane?
What if you did that on a recipe? What if you were just like, I don't know, I didn't make it. Like, what?
Yes.
I feel like it'd be warranted for someone to just be like, please delete your comment. Like, just get out.
And delete your life.
Yes. But, so these comments are definitely, like, all over the place. Obviously, it's New York Times. They get a ton of views. A lot of people are like, obviously, we should have given up on nail polish forever ago. For, like, varying reasons. And people are like, I'm so over this tacky nail polish trend. So, thank God we're back to something normal.
Tacky? Fuck off, Karen.
Some people even were like, which this makes me like feel sad / I'm just like, why? Some people are like, oh my god, I'm so excited that there's a natural nail trend. I've been waiting for one so I can rock my natural nails. And I'm like, what group of people are you surrounding yourself with that you don't feel comfortable not having nail polish? Like, they were excited. They've been waiting for this trend to happen because they've been wanting to be able to do this. Like, they were being stopped from doing this because it wasn't a trend.
They were being stopped
from having natural nails. Because it wasn't popular, I'm assuming, in their circle of people that they interact with, which is just very sad. But wait, something that made me really happy was there was a person who posted and they said, I was reading these earlier, I'm not gonna I have no idea who said what specifically, but someone said that they only paint their toenails, like they have that, like they like to have their toenails painted, and for their whole life they had to have someone else do it because they have MS, and so they have very little use of their predominant arm. And they said during quarantine they had to teach themselves how to paint their nails with their opposite hand, and they finally got it and they're really excited about it. And I literally wanted to cry. I was so happy. And I was like, if this could just be filled with wholesome comments like that would make me really happy. But I just was like, I needed to give a little applause because they were patting themselves on the back that they had to teach themselves how to paint with their non-dominant hand because they don't have use of their right hand.
That's so cute.
It was so cute and it made me really happy. A lot of people took the stance of, I go because these people need to feed their families. And I have very mixed feelings about that because I don't think I don't even know how to go about that because
what?
It's a very weird. They're like, I go because these places need to be supported. And I'm like, you want to support businesses you like and people you like. So, yeah. But I don't know. It felt like a weird argument to getting your nails done.
You're getting your nails done out of the kindness of your heart?
Yeah, like what? Like, what? I don't know. That was confusing to me. And, a lot of people are just, all over the place. But they're just, good riddance. Manicure culture has gone out of control. I did read this earlier. This person says they're a teacher, and over the years, they've increasingly noticed the expensive and cumbersome manicures on young girls' hands.
Terrible word usage. Terrible. Cumbersome?
Yeah.
What a fucking awful word.
They said that having young girls having this much on their nails or constantly doing their nails has developmental consequences, not to mention psychological and sociological ones. I feel bad for salon operators. Which probably me too. I'm sure they're snobby.
Capitalizing on people's insecurities based on how they look is a really shitty thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely, but that's also the beauty industry. That's a whole industry. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. But that was probably
the beautiful.
They basically finished it with they said, I'm glad to see this, as well as all other dehumanizing markers of hyper and commercialized feminism taking a hit during this time, which I can kind of see. I guess it's just like I've been so removed from that for so long that I'm in my head, I'm like, wait, that still affects people? Like, people still feel the need to, like, do something because you're supposed to, or whatever. Like, that, like, kind of blows my mind. But grooming should be about health, dignity, and culture, and the pandemic is reminding us of that.
No, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It should be all about, like whatever your basic need is like, really what it comes down to. Otherwise, it's technically not important.
Which, like, we say this, having, like, dyed hair and, like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I still think that, like, going and getting your hair done, or cut, and everything, and, like having a professional do it, like,
there's nothing wrong with that,
and like going and doing your nails and going and, like, nothing wrong with it at all. I absolutely understand the mental health benefits of it and everything like that. And if it's something that you like to do, I fucking play video games 24/7. Right. So it's like, we all have the things that we like to do, and that's fine. Nobody should get shit for that. But I think when people, like, try to, like, defend it and say that it's a necessary thing, is where you get into, like, this, like, sticky situation of, like, well, no, it's really not. And, like,
I mean, yeah, it's so unnecessary, like, in reality. But yeah, obviously people do what they want to do, whatever. But yeah, it's just, I mean, man, it's just an interesting take. Obviously you can dive into the health and environmental impacts of nail polish. Like, nail polish is known to have some sketchy ass shit in it. Obviously you're putting stuff. Also, another really interesting thing is they said that normally when it comes to, like, sickness and issues in the body, your nails can be one of the first tells on if something's wrong with you.
Yeah, if they turn yellow, doesn't that mean you have jaundice or whatever? Or is that your skin?
I have no idea.
It might be your skin.
But, like, your nails, like, will react very quickly to, like, things happening in your body.
Your nails can tell you if you're dehydrated.
How?
I think it's, like, if they're light or if they're dark. One or the other.
Oh, I have no idea. Also, you're not supposed to... Having long nails increases chances of dirt buildup and
no shit.
Lack of cleanliness.
Are yours dark right now? If both of ours are dark, that's probably the one. If they're dark, you're dehydrated.
I feel like mine are always this color. But I'm always dehydrated. I'm always dehydrated. But yeah.
And if you paint them, you can't tell. So don't paint your nails.
Stop painting your nails. This person made me laugh. COVID taught me to cut my own hair with clippers. I work from home and do not need to get sassy for work. I'm in shorts and a tank top every day. It says they live in Massachusetts and they're in shorts and a tank top every day. I'm sorry. Who's paying for your heat? Anyway, I do laundry.
I'm fucking cold right now.
Me too. My hands are really cold. I do laundry every couple of days. Well, that's nice.
Same.
The company has added more pay for using my home as their office. COVID-19 is the best friend I could have ever envisioned. I'm saving tons of cash and making even more money. That's true. How it works out for the sandwich shop or coffee store is not my problem.
That's douchey.
Yeah, you kind of crossed the line there. Yeah. I can see the sentiment of what they were saying. Like, in some ways, this might have actually helped some people.
Good for you that, like, it benefited you, but to say that then, like, it doesn't matter how other people are.
Fuck the places that are getting hurt.
That's, like, the most annoying thing that I see constantly is when somebody's like, yo, COVID-19 absolutely fucked me because, like, my industry was, like, tough to be in to begin with, and, like, I'm now pushed out for whatever reason. And people are like, you should have gotten a better degree. It's like no, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, oh, you should have gone into a trade. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Literally, fuck you.
Literally, so many places, so many things are being impacted, which, in that sense, manicures places, I'm sure, are being impacted and were heavily impacted in the beginning when literally you weren't allowed to have them at all. So, like, there's absolutely, like, when I'm sitting here making fun of people being like, I'm helping them pay their bills, you are. I get that.
I don't understand why people, like, are, like, they think they're so high and mighty because they went and did a trade. Like, no shit. Everybody knows that that's, like, the most sought out thing.
Dependable.
Because people don't typically gravitate towards that because people don't typically want to do that with their lives. Mm-hmm. So if you can look at it and go, I'm going to be making $100,000 a year by being an electrician, and that seems good to you, then yeah, good for you. Mm-hmm. But to rub that in somebody's face because they wanted to go get extra education to better themselves, to do something that they love and want to do, fuck you.
I mean, and it can
asshole.
go the opposite way too. Like,
yeah. Oh, if you went and got higher education and you're doing something you love, and you know somebody who's miserable doing what they are doing because they didn't take on that financial burden, and you rub that in their face, fuck you.
Yeah. It's like everyone's dealing with their own shit.
And like, if you went to college and got a graphic design degree and you still don't have a job, fuck you. That does it for this week on the What's Happening podcast.
Yeah, that's it. This was very ranty. I didn't intend it for it to be, but you know, whatever.
You had me on the show.
Yeah, that's true. We tend to be pretty opinionated about things, but I know I've said it 100 times. It's always from the stance of I don't give a shit what other people do. I just know what I'm going to and not going to do.
I don't give a shit what other people do as long as they're not putting somebody else down for what they want to do.
Yeah,
that's always my big thing.
Yeah, but yeah, that is it. Obviously, if you have any like hot takes, we'd love to hear them. You can comment.
Yeah, just make sure they're not objectively bad takes, because you will be fucking ridiculed.
Yeah. We'll expose you on the next.
Yeah, we're gonna expose you with our fake mom account down in the comments.
What would be the name of our fake mom account?
Fake mom 69.
Deal. All right. But yeah, so if you want to leave any comments, feel free to either find us on our socials. We always leave them in the description. But Spencer is at the Basement Gamer, GAMR. I am at Shelby Lynn Lives, and you can find our stuff.
No, here's Shelby Lynn just living.
Well, I'm just putting them to Shelby Lynn Lives.
Oh.
Whatever. I change it every time. But anyway.
Which one's which?
Shelby Lynn Lives is the art account.
You do art?
I do graphic design, but I'm not employed. So.
Somebody employ her.
Nerd.
Dork.
Anyway, you can also find this on YouTube if you wish to just comment on there and not reach out to us. That's fine too. I'll see it at some point. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please, or listening, please share this with friends. Rate it if you can, or just be like, yo, this is cool. Someone listen to this. And we will see y'all next episode. Did I miss something?
You can watch it. You can watch the next video next week.
Or watch
Subscribe to YouTube.
Everyone have a good Thanksgiving.
Go to YouTube and subscribe to it. Just YouTube.
Just YouTube. Bye.